Welcome to the update for the weekend of January 17th. Last Sunday, as I was at home listening to the worship playlist provided by our worship leaders, I found myself experiencing two very contrasting emotions. One, I found myself very saddened because we could not meet in person. I really miss all of you. At the same time, the worship songs on the playlist filled my soul with gratitude and thanksgiving. I'm grateful for the worship leaders who compiled the playlist for each week, for the technology that allows us to enjoy it so easily, for a wonderful stereo to be able to listen to the rich sounds on. God is so good. Some of you who are tuned into our church YouTube channel may be aware that in addition to the worship playlist for the current week, we have a playlist that compiles playlists from all of the earlier weeks. Now you can find that by navigating the Tofit Alliance Church channel on YouTube and selecting playlists. And the email version of this update includes a link for that. So if you're looking for some good worship music to enjoy, that's a great place to start. Big thank you to Brittany, to Irene, and Matthias for pointing us to these songs, and to my administrative assistant, Elizabeth, for keeping it all organized. I want to talk a little bit about our church annual meeting. It is scheduled for Monday, March 1st. This year, our meeting will be a little bit different as we review a very unusual year that has passed. If meeting restrictions are still in place, it might be in a different format, but I invite you to reserve the date, and I also invite you to participate in advance. Every year, our annual report booklet includes reflections from ministry leaders. This year, I would like it to include a wider swath of participation. And here's how. It has been a year of disruption, and we all have experienced change, disappointment, and loss. But God is still good, and He continues to lead, to guide, to encourage, and to bless. It would be great if our annual report booklet, we could hear from many people in our congregation on how God has encouraged and blessed you over the course of the past year, this most unusual year. Could you write a sentence, or at most a short paragraph describing how that has happened in your life? I would love for our annual report to include at least 20 of these brief expressions of praise from people within our congregation. You can write them down, send them to our church office, or relate them to me verbally as we chat by phone. In a year when much of the outward activity of the church has been on hold, it would be so encouraging to hear how God continues to work in lives individually. So just an update, I continue to split my work hours between my home and the church office, but you can feel free to contact me on my cell phone, and if you do need to drop by the church, either drop something off or for a visit, with distance and with mask, of course, I do plan to be at the church at least on Tuesday and Wednesday afternoons from 1 to 5 p.m. You can catch me then, or you can phone me to arrange another time, and again, my phone number, I think, is in the email version of this update. Disruptive Hope. That's the title of the message series that we are in as we explore the book of Jeremiah, scripture that was written to the most disruptive time in the nation of Judah when it was on the brink of exile. And it has a lot to say to us in this unusual season. Last week, we learned that God is more interested in changing our hearts than changing our circumstances. Disruption is one of the tools He uses to get the attention of individuals and nations. This week, we explore Jeremiah chapter 2, in which God exposes the root of the problem that's prompting all this disruption. Discovering what's wrong can be uncomfortable, but it can also bring a huge sense of relief as it provides hope for healing and restoration. Jeremiah is a challenging read, but I encourage you to tackle it. And as you read through Jeremiah, this week you can read chapter 2, or you can read lots more, pay attention to the terms like the word of the Lord, and pay attention to the hope that it proclaims during these disruptive times. If you want a bird's eye view, you can look at Right Now Media. It has an outline there on how to read the book of Jeremiah. It's a recommendation on our church tab. Now, if you don't have Right Now Media, you can sign up for free through our church, and the email version has a link where you can do that. This week, we're looking at two key truths summarized in Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 13. My people have committed two sins. They have forsaken me, the spring of living water, and have dug their own cisterns, cisterns that cannot hold water. We have a deep longing for restrictions to end so that we can turn to activities and routines and connections that we previously enjoyed. I hope that we would have an even deeper longing for the living water that is available through Jesus Christ. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you can catch that message this weekend. May God bless each one of you. Take care.